Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we're looking at Back Mutation in combination with Dark Magician's standard opener of Magician's Rod and Magician's Souls. We're going to start with Magician's Souls just because it plays around the Bestial cards. Not that it's always relevant, but sometimes it's just better to, play around stuff when you can. So then we're going to normal the Rod, and Rod is going to grab secrets here. And you'll notice that Back Mutation is kind of like a reverse metamorphosis, if you want to call it that. What we're going to summon here is Garura, actually, and this is because we can back mutation with Garura, and it being a level 6 means we're actually able to summon out a level 6 from the deck. That's right, it's a Bestial himself. We're going to summon out the Pizza Hut, the Magna Hut, Magna Mutt, Magna, whatever you want to call this guy. He's going to activate his effect to get us a dragon in the end phase, and Back Mutation is going to get us a random draw. Sorry, Garura will get us a random draw. And then, because we have to pass turn, Back Mutation has another effect where it actually wants to put the card that it summoned back in the hand. So in this case, we will search a second Bestial, and then we will get the Magna Hut back to our hand, as you saw there. So we're actually going into the opponent's turn with two potential interruptions. We did draw an Ash Blossom, but remember that's a random draw. So going to the opponent's turn with potential 2 DD Crow cards, pretty good here considering we would still have an additional 2 cards in the hand. Okay, our next combo is a little bit of copium, but man is it epic. This is a cool as fuck Dark Magician Slifer combo. Now it is a 4-card combo. You need Back Mutation, you need the Revived Sky God, and of course you need to open the standard DM opener, which is Rod and Souls, which we've established quite a fair bit at this point, but some people might be new here, so we gotta let them know. So from here, we're able to make the Chaos Angels. Yeah, Chaos Angel. And Chaos Angel is a level 10 monster, so that's very relevant because the Egyptian gods are also level 10 monsters. So here we're able to summon Slifer off just Rod and Souls, which is kind of nuts. And then we're able to get to the Revived Sky God. I mean, we search a random Soul Servant. It's not really that relevant, but you may as well go and set up Eternal Soul so you've got some sort of reoccurring resource. So yeah, we're just going to banish that Soul Servant, and that's going to get us the free salvation. Not the biggest deal, but it's almost like we just want to get rid of everything we can from our hand because we're going to draw up to 6, and we want to maximize the chance of drawing into hand traps. So getting that Eternal Soul out is nice too, because it means we can summon DM and add Rod back to our hand next turn, meaning we don't need to draw Rod here as our draw 6. So Slifer does have to go to the grave because its effect says it was special summon, it needs to go to the grave, and we need it in the grave for the Revived Sky God to actually activate. Now, of course, the other card, Back Mutation, has an effect to bounce Slifer to the hand because it was summoned off Back Mutation. However, you can pick Slifer's effect to resolve first, so that's what happens here. We just pick Slifer's effect to get itself off the field first, and Back Mutation then just doesn't have to resolve its effect. And then look, we can just revive Sky God, and we've drawn up to all these hand traps here. Kind of nuts. Alright, getting into our third combo, we're actually going to start with Adhara instead of Magician's Souls. Adhara being a level 1 tuner that summons itself if you have no monsters or only normal monsters on the field, which is quite doable in Dark Magician, but the most people will know Adhara from Sword Soul because it is such a good little worm and tuner monster, but we're going to use it today with Rod to go into Herald. Now, Herald is a negate on its own, so it's probably better off just staying on Herald, but we're going to back mutation our Herald to finally make the Chronicle Sorceress a playable card. We all know Chronicle Sorceress should have just been our Link one, but that's okay. Chronicle Sorceress is able to activate here. Oh yeah, Herald also adds us Illusion of Chaos, kind of nice. Chronicle Sorceress is able to use her effect now to dump a Dark Magician card. We can go ahead and dump Dark Magician Girl. You can dump Magician's Navigation. There's plenty of good targets to dump to the grave in Dark Magician, which is why Chronicle Magician Girls, or Chronicle Sorcerer's effect rather, is actually a very good effect, just printed on the wrong card. Really should have been our Link 1's effect. And I don't think anyone can disagree that a mixed Blue Eyes and Dark Magician Link 1 would have been amazing, but apparently Konami don't want that to happen. So now we've got Dark Magician as well as Dark Magician Girl in the grave. So we're going to greed and we're going to send the Soul Servant for a draw here with Magician's Souls and then draw another 2. Obviously, we would have more cards in our hand, but yep. Unfortunately, that's all we can really do here. We didn't actually achieve much from that, but that goes to show you how lackluster Chronicle Sork is. I just thought I'd make a combo that can actually summon her. But yeah, I'm not too sure about Chronicle Sorcerer or, to be honest, Back Mutation in DM. They seem very subpar at best, but I did just want to showcase some of the combos I thought of. This is mainly me just thinking out loud, and if you like this sort of content, please let me know in the comments. I know some people might be like, this is kind of pointless because well, it's all combos that aren't really that relevant. And look, I would agree, but I think to some degree you need to play out all of the ideas in your head. And this was one of those crazy ideas. Summon Token Collector off Back Mutation. Now, why? Well, there's certain matchups where this just wins you the game. Now, if you remember, Back Mutation says Token Collector has to go back to your hand at the end of the turn, and that's actually 100% fine and exactly what you want. So Token Collector as a hand trap is now actually searchable. Like, that's kind of insane. Obviously, you need to make a level 4 monster, but lots of decks have access to level 4 monsters. DM has to do 2 cards to get there, which is a bit sad, but we can still do it. Now, Token Collector being this searchable is pretty good. I'm just overextending a little bit here to see if I can do anything else, but you know what? I really don't think much more is going to happen here. We might draw into an Ash Blossom because I've stacked them, but that's about it. But the most important thing that's going to happen here is us ending our turn. Now, you'd probably make Magician Souls Linkuriboh here, but you know, that Token Collector in the hand, that is a win, right? That can win you a game. So ironically, that Token Collector combo is probably the most meta-relevant combo I've shown off so far, and yet Dark Magician has to get to that in such an intricate way. Where other decks would just normal summon a level 4 and activate Back Mutation, and Bob's your uncle, you're already there. But anyway, I digress. We're going into Herald again. I think we've all realized this by now. Nothing new is happening with Herald. Herald just means Back Mutation can slightly give us more value. In this case, we're doing a similar thing, but with Skullmeister. Skullmeister acting as a DD Crow / Bestial kind of card, except it just doesn't banish the card that's activating its effect in the grave. It just negates it. So I would say this is probably a lot worse, considering the Token Collector is probably an auto win. If you really need Token Collector in that matchup, it must be an auto win. Like against Sword Soul, it's pretty damn nice, and I would imagine, you know, that's when you'd side in that combo. Alright, now we're skipping straight to where we've used Back Mutation on the Herald for this one, because we've all seen it a couple of times by now. Now you're going to have 2 effects go off here. We've got Ecclesia's effect to go and search, and we've also got the Herald effect to go and search, so that's pretty sick. Going to grab ourselves a Ritual card. Yep, so we picked Illusion of Chaos there, and then we're going to go and grab Dogmatic Punishment, meaning we've actually got some things to do now. Now, of course, we gave up a Herald to get here. It's not necessarily worth it, but it just is another line of play that I thought I would show off. Now, we still haven't used that Magician Souls. We're going to go ahead and use that, but as you'll know, if we've used the effect of Ecclesia, we're locked out of the extra deck, and we certainly did use the effect of Ecclesia. So yeah, we're just going to go for some draws here now with Magician Souls, sending Soul Servant and Soul Servant drawing. But yeah, I don't think there's anything great here. I think Nadir Servant is obviously the Dogmatica card you really just want to be playing and seeing. But I thought I'd address this anyway. Yeah, as I said, some of these videos are very much me thinking out loud, or you know, testing out loud, if you will. So this is another idea I had, mainly because of Dodo and all of his Ritual DM shenanigans, and that is to summon the Incantation Candole. Candole lets you grab a Ritual spell, so we've got Advanced Ritual Art in the deck as a one-of. So yeah, we're going to activate that Advanced Ritual Art, and that's going to let us summon out the Illusion of Chaos by sending a DM from deck to grave, which is always good because, you know, Dark Magician in the grave means we get draws, and you know what? We do like to have draws. In this case, I'm not sure what I'm going to grab, but it's probably just going to be a Eternal Soul. We're going to Soul Servant Banish, and yeah, it's Salvation, which is by extension Eternal Soul. So still not too much going on here, but this does mean, once again, we can summon DM off turn and add Rod back from the grave to the hand, and Illusion of Chaos is obviously a negate. But once again, Herald is also a negate, and like Incantation Candle coming to hand is not that great, to be honest, but it's a thing. I had some other wacky ideas with like Albaz and stuff, but you actually get locked out of a lot of stuff if you try to use any branded shenanigans here. So yeah, I've tried a whole bunch of weird Dark Magician combos with Back Mutation, and in conclusion, I don't think this card is too good for Dark Magician, but it is fun to play around with a new card when it comes out, and to just try to push the limits with the card. Now, of course, I could have missed something, so please let me know down in the comments if you've found a cool interaction or combo with Back Mutation in Dark Magician. For this combo, I'm going to be going for the Dragon Knight, I believe. So there's me stacking Tamias off Soul Servant. Soul Servant will banish to draw it. And I'll just get rid of that Rod so I can summon that Tamias out. Easy peasy. So now we're going to make the Dark Magician the Dragon Knight. Now the problem here is we haven't searched for Circle or Eternal Soul. The other two cards in our hand really need to be Circle Eternal Soul. We pack Mutation into Arcana Force, the World. So this card says, during the end phase, send 2 monsters you control to the grave, skip your opponent's next turn. So, the problem with this is, we don't really have a way to summon again in Dark Magician, but if we ever find one, if someone can find a way, we can potentially world loop people. But anyway, I had a bunch of fun testing out this stuff. It's definitely not that great, but man, it's fun to play with some random stuff. But it is fun to play random engines in Dark Magician. But thanks for joining me, and if we can make the world combo work, I would absolutely love that. So yeah, let me know if you figure anything out. See ya!